Well, France 24's international affairs commentator, Doug Herbert, was also listening into that press conference with me. Doug, what are your thoughts?
Few things strike me. Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, was very insistent that this is not a, quote, regime change war, as he put it. And yet, what we can absolutely say is one of the opening acts of this war was the assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. Now, many people within and outside Iran are not much love lost for Khamenei, who repressed his people and ruled with an iron grip and in a very brutal way for many decades over his people. Putting that whole issue aside, the fact of the matter is it was in the purest definition of the term, a regime change, perhaps one still in the works because we don't know how it's all going to run out, to pan out in the end. But knocking out Khamenei without, and these are important distinctions to make, a president doing that unilaterally without going to the U.S. Congress, without seeking approval from the lawmakers, the duly elected lawmakers, the legislative branch, without seeking real consultation or the support in advance of allies. The allies that we just heard Fraser remind us were referred to as, pearl clutching and wringing their hands. And neither did we hear any real clear plans for the future, just the opposite, very open-ended. We heard, Hegseth speaking of the American military, the actions being precise, swift, and overwhelming. And there's obviously echoes in that language, Jeannie, with the shock and awe terminology used on the eve of the Iraq invasion. There was no, and we know how that panned out historically, there was no real clear or even semi-clear explanation as to why this administration believes that it will have any more luck in avoiding a so-called endless war, which Pete Hegseth said this is not going to be, when that was not the case with Iraq and Afghanistan, wars prior to the Trump administration. I will just leave with one last thing. I was going back over the 2012 Trump tweet, which has gone viral. At the time, Obama was in power, and he tweeted, "Now that Obama's poll numbers are in tailspin, watch for him to launch a strike in Libya or Iran. He is desperate." That was in October 2012. A few days later, he tweeted again, "Don't let Obama play the Iran card in order to start a war, in order to get elected. Be careful, Republicans." He was speaking about Obama then as a president, disdainful and lashing out at that president, saying that just watch this space. He is likely to start a war in Iran for political purposes with an eye on the election. Be careful. He seems to be doing the same thing himself. You could say that you're always haunted by your past tweets, and it's a low blow to drag up tweets from 14 years ago. That may be the case, but these were a series of tweets, not just one, and they really showed where Donald Trump emphatically stood with respect to Iran in his own mind. And now fast forward to his second term as a U.S. president, second term in the White House, and his language has very much changed, and you can replace his own name with Obama's and rerun those tweets as is, and that's what's playing out right now.
All right.